In this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to start strengthening your hip flexors. So even though while a lot of us have tight hip flexors, they're also pretty weak. Between the hip flexors and the adductors, those are 2 of the weakest areas in our body and around our hips. So first things first, come on the ground. Knees are bent, feet are flat, legs are hip distance apart. Gently set your core brace. So you're going to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Let your pelvis rock back, tip under into a posterior pelvic tilt. Feel your rib cage move down and in. So this center part here, your whole core activates, it's bracing, your low back flattens towards the ground. All right, great, core is on. Woohoo! All right, in this position, keep your core on. Bring one knee towards your chest, hands meet the knee. This is an isometric action. Okay, this, if you're very new to strengthening your hip flexors, is a really gentle way to start. If you have any low back issues, this could be a really good way to start also. So hands here, you're gonna press your knee up into your hands, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then relax and repeat 5 to 10 times, and then switch sides. So again, it's an isometric action to start strengthening the hip flexors. Now, if that goes over well, you progress. You're gonna take a light resistance mini band and put it over the middle of your feet. Both legs will be out straight. Keep your toes, feet dorsiflexed back. So if you point your toes, the band's gonna fly off. Keep the toes pulled back towards your shins. I like to have hands behind head. If you can't, then just keep your hands alongside your body. But if you can, hands behind head, gently pull your ribs down so your core is activated, your core is on. Keep the core activated. Keep one leg out straight on the ground. Bring one knee towards your chest. Stay here for 3 to 5 seconds. Relax. Now you can repeat on the same side, and if that feels like too much in your body, you can alternate sides. So I typically have my clients do the alternating version. So they're here for 3 to 5 seconds, core stays on, they lengthen the leg, they switch sides, and it's just so that we don't over fatigue the hip flexors as they're starting to strengthen them. Next variation that I typically move on to is a standing one. Very similar, pretty much identical to the one laying down, but now you're upright. The band, again, light resistance band to start, goes over your midfoot. You can do this without support, but if you are having trouble balancing, do it with support, okay? Feet about hip distance apart, hands behind your head, ribs pulled down. The leg you're gonna stand on, activate that glute, hug it into your hip. The other leg, and then you can just shift your weight onto it. The other leg, you're gonna bring knee up towards chest. Now, you could do this for active reps, where you go up and down. Okay, you could do it for short holds, 3 to 5 seconds. I like to stay on the same side when standing, so this glute really can fire up, this hip flexor gets some work. When you're bringing the knee up, you do wanna be able to get your knee to at least in line with your hip, hopefully higher. So if you can't with the resistance, take the resistance off, work without it to start. Again, if you're really having trouble balancing, or if your hip's doing weird things and hiking up and out, just get some support, right? Stabilize, because it's not about balance right now, right? It is about getting your hip flexors stronger, more functional. Last tip here. If when you're doing this, you're really starting to feel a lot of pulling in front or down into the quad, what I like to do for myself is I do a little kickback to get the glute on a little bit more. So for my left side, I do this more than for my right side. So I might do a few reps here, 3 to 5 second holds, and in between, I'll just kick back a little bit. And I activate, I hug my glute in to get this to fire up, and then I come back and continue the pattern.